let's get into the video. Please subscribe. My name is Janae, and I wanted to share some of my story with you. 6.5 months ago, I quit drinking. I basically went off the deep end with drugs and alcohol in my life. I have 3 kids. I have twins that are 15, and I have a 9-year-old. I basically have had a hard time with my daughter. I steered her in the wrong direction when I was lost in my addiction. I encouraged her to go out with a boy while I was in a drunken psychosis, not thinking clearly. And that was the worst decision that I could have done for her. She ended up going and dating this boy, and the boy ended up being very abusive, and he ended up beating her up really bad. And she also was talking to another kid, and he stabbed the kid. And he ended up with 3 assault charges over that situation. And my daughter ran away and went into hiding with this abusive boy. And I hadn't talked to my daughter for months. It was very difficult to deal with this during early sobriety. I thank God for my sponsor. She helped me through these tough times because I needed that support, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. Hindsight's 2020, and I had no idea things were going to play out that way. So basically, I have a daughter living on the streets and in an abusive relationship, and she's only 15, and that breaks my heart. But the best thing I could do is stay sober and just focus on myself right now. I had to give that whole situation to God at this point because it was just way too hard for me to handle. I am just focusing on my recovery, and I think that's what's really important, and I'm getting myself well and stable and strong so that I can actually help my daughter one day. So it was really difficult dealing with that, to say the least. I started my sobriety going to online meetings. I think that there's a lot of value in online meetings, but I also know that as an addict, I am a professional isolator, and I also have a hard time reaching out and going out of my comfort zone and speaking with people and actually making connections. So for me, I think in-person meetings are really important, and I'm at this point where I'm pushing myself to get more engaged with in-person meetings. I recently made plans with a girl from treatment to go to a meeting, and unfortunately she blew me off. And I was at this moment where I was like, should I go to the meeting? I was coming up with every excuse not to go to this meeting. I was like, well, there's my sign not to go. She's not going. I won't go then. But then I realized that if I'm only going because she's going, then I'm going for the wrong reason. So I went out of my comfort zone and I sucked it up, and I decided to go to this meeting alone. And I got to the parking lot and I was watching people go in, trying to see how many people were there, trying to see if women were going in, because I really wanted women to be there. And as I'm sitting here getting all nervous, getting ready to go into this meeting all by myself, I get a phone call, and it was my daughter. And I hadn't talked to my daughter in 3 months. And she happened to call me at that very moment. And it was like, for me, I was like paying attention to my higher power and to these signs that I see in life. And for me, I almost felt like God was like throwing me a bone or something. I was about to go out of my comfort zone and go into this meeting and do something that was good. And my daughter calls at that time. And that was like, made my whole night to hear her. She says, "I'm okay, Mom." And that made me feel a lot better. And it made me feel reassured about going into the meeting, and like higher power is saying, you're doing the right thing. So I go into the meeting and it was really great. Everybody was really friendly. I am happy that I went. It was very interesting because 5 years ago, I was in inpatient treatment, and there's a whole group of people there that were from the inpatient treatment center that I had attended 5 years ago. So it was really neat seeing all those girls and how I once sat in their shoes. And I thought that was just really inspiring. I wish I would have like reached out more to them and spoken with them, because I know a lot more now than I did back then when I was in their shoes. And I also didn't take it serious back then when I do now. So I think there's a lot of potential for me to like inspire, but it was really just interesting. And then another situation that really inspired me was, I always like have thought it would be neat to work in a situation where I'm helping other people dealing with what I'm dealing with. And I have went through detox centers like 3 times. I was in a detox center, and I thought that would be neat to get a job at a detox center, or even an inpatient treatment facility would be neat. But there was a girl there who, she was still inpatient treatment, and she was about to get out and go to an Oxford sober house. And she had just gotten a job at the detox center. So she was getting right out of inpatient, going into sober housing, and about to start a brand new job at a detox center. And she only had 6 months clean. And I thought, how inspiring is that? She barely has any clean time at all, and she's like doing all this great stuff. And it made me feel like I could do that. Like, because I was under the impression that I needed like 2 years clean to do anything like that. And that's not the truth. You know, you can definitely get those kinds of jobs with less clean time. But so that really inspired me. But I definitely recommend going to those meetings. You know, I felt so welcome, and I pushed myself, and I went out of my comfort zone, and I shared, and I just felt like I did the right thing. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna make this meeting that I went to my home group, but I'm gonna like meeting hop all the meetings and decide that way. And so yeah, it was just really inspiring for me. And you know, I encourage anybody who's trying to get sober and trying to kick this habit to work the 12 steps with a sponsor. My sponsor saved my life, and meetings are going to save my life. Like, I need this fellowship. I have no friends. I sit by myself, and I need friends, and I need sober friends that are going to bring me up in life. And I think that through this fellowship, if I keep on keeping on, I'm gonna make that happen, and do something great with my life. But I just wanted to like tell you that it's really, sobriety is really hard, and it seems like once you get sober, you get tested a lot or something. Because I just feel like after I got sober, I just started having all these shitty fucking things happen in my life that were just things that were just breaking me. But I had to stay strong. And the more that I stay strong and the more that I overcome, I feel more confident in my sobriety. Like, I can do this. I want this. My kids deserve this. I deserve this. And I'm not going to put myself on the back burner any longer. It's time to confront myself and live up to my potential. And that's where I'm at right now, because I spent 32 years of my life not doing that, not caring about that, not thinking about anybody but myself. And that's no way to live. It's all about others, helping others. And that's what makes you feel good. And so I'm just really thankful to be alive. And I'm thankful that I'm able to make these videos and let you guys know where I'm at. And I would love for you to continue to watch my healthy lifestyle journey. It means a lot to me. And till next time.
Oh